Good evening, everyone. Happy Monday. Happy Monday to my Sugar Bears. Thank you guys so much for being here, for liking, for commenting, and most of all, for subscribing and becoming a part of the Sugar Bear family. As I said this past weekend, we are continuing Comic Week, and we are going to read for Christopher Titus and Rachel Bradley, Natalie Love, and Shuler King. I hope you guys are looking forward to seeing what the spirits may have to say for them or to them, as I'm looking forward to doing this. And I thank you guys so much for being so supportive and so, what's the word, enthusiastic, I guess, for what I'm doing with my psychic perspectives. I'm really trying to, do more of my channel and become more, um, active on YouTube. So thank you guys so much. So today we are going to do Christopher Titus and Rachel Bradley. Now, for those of you who don't know, if you don't know who Christopher Titus is, it's okay. It's all right. And if you don't know who Rachel Bradley is, it's okay. It's okay. It really is. But Rachel Bradley and Christopher Titus, they are a husband and wife team, and they're both comedians and writers. And I I found them during the quarantine, during like when everything was going on and in the height of the pandemic. I found them courtesy of their podcast, the Christopher Titus podcast. And I loved and adored Christopher Titus's humor. And of course, his Armageddon updates were awesome. And I just thought that they were really funny. And shout out to the Highlander. I absolutely love their podcast. If you haven't checked them out, I definitely would say do so. They have a lot of great guests on their podcast, and they're just a lot of fun. Like they just seem like they're decent people that I would love to sit down and have a drink with, have some wings with. You know what I mean? They a lot of their products. They I think a lot of their sponsors, like their products, they sponsor things like Butcher Box and Truff and all kinds of stuff. And I haven't tried any of that stuff yet. But a lot of the things I've either thought about doing or, like I've been like, oh my God, I really would love to try that. Like truff, I actually want to try. Truff is a sauce. I'm kind of going on a tangent. But anyway, they are a great team. And if you do know who Christopher Titus is, for those of you who grew up in the 90s like myself, he had a TV show called Titus. He had a sitcom. And his sitcom was pretty groundbreaking, even for back then. And if you want to, you can watch the whole show on his YouTube channel. He has all the episodes of Titus of the show, of the talk show, and it's a great show. It's very funny. It's very thought provoking. So, with that being said, let's get into the reading. Okay, so I was rambling, and I think it's because I'm a little nervous. Um, because they like Christopher Titus follows me on Twitter, and I just think he's great. I think he like I would love to sit down with him, Richard Marks, and Rachel, and just have some drinks, some good food, and good laughs and good conversation. I would love to just do that with them. And also, this is my first time reading a couple where I don't see them. So normally when I read for couples, I literally can look in their faces, but in this case, I can't. So I have to really pick up on their energies and what they're bringing. And shouts out to Groucho and I think Chaplin is the name of their dog, I believe. Don't quote me. So here we go. I'm just gonna relax my energy, get it together. Okay, so the first thing that I pick up is projects, construction. I hear banging in my head. I hear things being built. Um, I feel like you guys are going to, and now I'm talking directly to Mr. Titus and Miss Bradley. First of all, it's a pleasure to meet you both. But I feel like you guys are putting on something not only where you can perform, but where others can perform. It kind of reminds me of like an open mic, but I don't think it is that, but it reminds me of that sort of. And I feel as if you guys are going to take a lot of comics that are known, but some that are not so known, and give them the spotlight, give them an opportunity. I pick up somebody, and I want to say this is a female. I get a feminine energy. I want to say brown hair, either neck length or like shoulder length hair. Hilariously funny, but they haven't gotten the the exposure yet. And I feel like you guys are doing, what I get around the both of you is mentor and mentee. I get that. Like you both are mentors to up and coming comics. With you, Miss Bradley, I pick up a lot of writing. You're always thinking, always writing, always, oh God, just the next thing. But I also see you working on the home and getting ready for the holidays, things like that. I get a lot to do with either your grandmother or like your grandparents coming into town. Um, because I feel like with you, Miss Bradley, family is very important to you. It's very much a thing. But at the same time, you're like, listen, I don't have time for a bunch of bullshit. If we're gonna come together, we not gonna listen. Don't be fucking with me talking about topics that I don't want to talk about. Because what I also hear in my head is you want to keep the peace, but you're not afraid to go there if you have to. And then with you, Mr. Titus, I get, like I said, construction. I get you building something, either like a studio or you're working on something within your studio. I know you guys have a podcast, so that's a given, but I just pick up something like that. And I'm also getting health is very important to you right now. Physicality, flexibility. I'm seeing you running. I'm seeing you doing like almost like it kind of reminds me of insanity. It's not, but it kind of reminds me of that. I see you lifting weights. I see you trying to get better sleep. You stress about things so much, Mr. Titus. Like I literally hear you screaming in my head. Um, Keep away from the news if you can. I know it's hard not to because with the profession that you both are in, it's hard not to be aware of what's going on in the world. You have to be. That's how you get a lot of your material. But I literally get tension. Like I want to do this because I feel tension around you regarding not just what's going on in the world, but what I hear is a lack of compassion, lack of empathy. I get you being very angry about the way the world has changed, like not has changed, but I think the way the world is becoming and what it's become. And I see you wanting to give back. I see you wanting to, not just in terms of money, but in terms of using your voice. This pandemic has really, really made you aware that life is very short. That yes, we're gonna have differences of opinion, but at the same time, don't be a dick. Like I literally hear you saying it, like don't be a jackass. And I'm also getting a lot to do with your father, Mr. Titus. Like I feel like for some reason, either you've been thinking about him a lot or he's always in the back of your head. Because I hear somebody, for me, I get a lot of, for me, I'm picking up a lot of verbal abuse. I'm picking up somebody that you could have given them the moon and it was just, they were never happy. They were never satisfied. But they knew how to turn on the charm to get what they want. Very manipulative. That's the word that I would use. Um, I also pick up with you, Mr. Titus, a lot to do with you financially right now. I get that you're far from broke, but I see you wanting to put money away. I see you wanting to be like, let me just make sure I put money away and make sure money is, good and everything is fine. I get that energy from you. I also get right now that you are also at the point where you want to travel. I get something to do with you in the mountains. and it may not be Denver, Colorado, but it reminds me of Denver sort of. And then I'm also seeing trips to Europe or European trips or even a European tour. Because I do see you going overseas. Maybe not this year, but maybe 2022, 23, somewhere in there. I feel like you may end up going overseas. You and your wife, actually, you and Miss Bradley. Um, and then with Miss Bradley, it's so interesting because what I get from you, Miss Bradley, is I get that you're the backbone. Like he's the head, but you are the neck. And what I mean by that is I get that on the mental and emotional level for him, you really are his piece. And I actually get Mr. Titus getting emotional when he thinks about, ooh, I'm trying not to cry myself, when he thinks about you and how you have come into his life. I don't want to say you saved his life, but that's the way it feels. It feels like you brought a new sense of hope. You brought in a purpose for him, a drive. You motivated him to be more and do more and want more, not just in terms of his career, but just for himself. Um, I also see you, honey, that you are well, maybe you used to be, but you are a party girl, honey. You love a good drink. Not a drink, a drink. You love a good drink. And I see you being, but it's funny. Yes, you love to party and all that stuff and have a good time, but I also see you being someone who is very, can be very serious, very analytical, very, dare I say, even spiritual. I get a lot of spirituality from you because I see you either praying or you're in prayer a lot with a lot of things. And I feel like you are the calm. Like I keep picking it up. That's why I'm saying it over and over. I feel like you're the calm for him. You're the one that's like, babe, okay, just shut up. Like stop. Just shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? And I'm being frank because I honestly get that energy from y'all. You guys are that open with each other that you're that, I guess the word I would receive or that I'm receiving as I'm talking about you two is transparency. Um, and I also feel as if, Miss Bradley, you're really coming into your own as a woman. And I don't mean in the physical sense, I mean in the mental and emotional sense. Um, I want to say this is your sister. Yeah, because I feel like I get your mother, but I feel like your mother's in the background. But I get a lot to do with your sister. And I don't know if you guys had a dicey relationship at one point or you didn't really get along. But for some reason, I see a lot of healing taking place. I see a lot of like I may not like what you do, excuse me, or what you believe, or but there's an understanding. There's a common ground, a median, a middle ground versus before where there wasn't any. And it's interesting because I get that before you met Mr. Titus, and I'm calling you guys by your last names because I don't know you very well and I'm a Southerner, so I'm just gonna go like yes ma'am and no sir and all that. But I'm calling you that because I get you being what I pick up around you, Miss Bradley, is I get a sense of you feeling very misunderstood at one point. I get a lot of, for me, emotionally abusive relationships, even some physicality in here too. Like I get a little bit of that too, but mainly I get emotional and mentally abusive because I get a lot to do with your self-esteem and self-worth. And it feels like when you guys met, I don't get that it was just like and you came together. I don't get that. I get that it took time and it was gradual. And I get that, and I hear you saying like he made me laugh, he made me think, he made me question myself, he made me be better. And I think you've done the same for him. You've helped him not be so cynical. He's helped you not be so hard because you tend to look at the world. You're a realist, but sometimes you can be too real. And I get that with Mr. Titus, it's like I won't say you're not a pessimist per se, but you're a realist, but at the same time, it's like, but you still believe like, but we can do this. We can be better. We're better than this. Like you still believe in what's the word? Not the American way. That's not what I'm saying. But you still believe in not morals. That's not the word I want to use. You still believe that we as Americans, we as a culture, a world, we have integrity. We have, like there's still the greater good. You know what I mean? There's still the greater good within us. And I feel like you balance each other out. And honey, when y'all argue, baby, because I see I see you, Miss Bradley, and your hair is going every which way, and you like, listen, like you. And he's not yelling, but yeah, it's there. So you guys are you're passionate, but there's a lot of love here. There's a lot of nurturing between the two of y'all. Oh my goodness, just a lot of growth. I feel like this is a growing, like every day you guys are evolving and growing and being, getting to know each other on a different level. I get something to do with a beach house or like, yeah, a beach home. Either reconstruction is going to happen in there or you're going to upgrade some things within your beach house. What else am I picking up around, y'all? Lord have mercy. With you, Miss Bradley, I see you maybe not losing weight, but maybe maintaining your weight. I get mainly the like from boob to waist, that area, and I see you wanting to just be a little bit better. You're not, honestly, y'all, she's gorgeous. Like she's so pretty. Um, but I just feel like you're like, I'm not happy with where I am. But I also pick up that you're really learning to love your body because for those of you who don't know, and I'm gonna bring this in a little bit, she used to be a model. At one point, she was a model. And if you know anything about the modeling industry, it can really wear on you when it comes to your self-image. And what I get is that I don't get that you struggle with it, Miss Bradley. I don't get that like you used to, but I see you being like, I want to be better, but I want to be better for me, not for somebody else, not for the status quo. Um, I definitely see you guys touring and doing stand-up. I'm actually seeing specials either being filmed. Excuse me, I am so sorry. Either being filmed, and I want to say like 3. And I feel like it's gonna be like her, like you, Miss Bradley, and then Mr. Titus, and then you, and then him, like back and forth, back and forth. And I'm getting you guys doing a lot more collaborative things as a team because during the quarantine, they did a lot of things together. And I see them doing more so, like more specials and stuff. What's also what I'm getting? This may sound funny, but I pick up another dog. I could be wrong with still left shoes, but I pick up another dog around y'all. And let's see. What I get around you, Mr. Titus, is that right now you're trying to balance. Your life is all about balance right now. Balancing being a husband, being a performer, being a father, because I get a lot to do with you and your son. I want to say this is your son. And I get I feel like there's a lot of understanding where there wasn't for a long time now. Um, yeah, there's a lot of understanding. There's a lot of mutual respect where before I just get it, just didn't get it. But now they're like, I get it now. I get what you were trying to tell me. And I want to say there's 17, because I get 17. But yeah, I just pick up a lot of that. I also see your podcast growing like a lot. I get a lot of either up and coming, and I also pick up a lot of Black comedians coming in, and maybe not even Black comics, but a lot of people of color being guests on your podcast as well, and even guest hosts coming in. And I feel like the next 2 years for y'all are going to be very, very busy, but it's not busy in a way that you can't catch up, but busy in the way of we're going to build our empire. We're going to make it, and let me make this very clear. I'm not saying like, Well, I don't know any money like that. But but what I'm saying is I just see them doing other things, like branching out, doing other things. I get products, I get product placement, I get being spokespersons for things. I hear Miss Bradley, I hear you doing either audiobooks or you having a podcast just by yourself. I hear different things and pick up different things for y'all. And I feel like in work and even just in life, it really is it's like a delicate balancing act. But I do see you guys being okay. And I want to say, um, what I'm picking up around Mr. Titus is when it comes to your stress levels. This is why I was saying to you earlier, if you can, don't watch the news. But I know that's hard not to do. But what I'm picking up is something to do with you around the winter. And I get a lot to do with you. I don't know if this is, it's not a heart attack. It's not things like that. I just pick up like a lot of tension. And I literally get you doing this. Like you just like you know, and I'm getting around you. It's like, no, you gotta relax. You gotta learn to calm down. You know what it is? You okay. You want to control things that you can't control. And you have to learn, Mr. Titus, that you can't do that. Life doesn't work that way. You know that because I literally hear you saying, like, yeah, I know. But I'm just reiterating it because I feel like for some reason you want to be not totally in control, but damn near, you know. And you are the kind of person where if something doesn't go, you're a little bit of a perfectionist. If something doesn't go a certain way, you get very, very like, you know, and it kind of ruins the whole thing. But it's like, babe, you got to learn to relax. And I think as you grow older, you will learn. You will get there. But I also feel that's where Miss Bradley is coming in because I see her being like, come to me, it's okay, calm down, use your words. But then I also pick up that with Miss Bradley, I get that you don't show your emotions very much, and then when you do, it's like an explosion or like somebody, like a dam bursting, because I see you being very emotional. I see you crying a lot. I and not crying in the sense of sadness, but like an angry cry, like why isn't why aren't things just going like this and things like that. And I get you being like, I can't stand this. And your thing is you don't like to see people unhappy. When people are unhappy, it makes you unhappy. You're very much you're very empathetic, very empathetic. Um, and it's interesting because either you have an interest in the occult or you know a lot about it. And I feel like you come from a family that knows like, and I don't mean like people that do readings and stuff. I mean, when I say that, I mean healers. I mean people that know how to use herbs and teas and things like that. And I get a lot to do with you in the Carolinas, that part of the country. And I just get you, Carolinas, Tennessee, that area. And I feel like you just intuitively know things. And I also get that you dream a lot because I see you waking up a lot in the middle of the night. So yeah, pay attention to your intuition. Your intuition is never off base. It's never wrong, Miss Bradley. That will help you a great deal. And that'll help you a lot in terms of negotiating contracts because the one thing I'm seeing that you run into sometimes is people often doubt your businesses because you are a woman. And not only because you're a woman, but you're a pretty woman. And people think you're just, all looks and no talent. And that's far from true. But I get it that sometimes that becomes an issue. And I definitely see Mr. Titus saying, like, I'll step in and help you, but I get that your intuition will help you more than anything else. Not saying that he won't help you, that's not what I'm saying. But I think when it comes to negotiating things on your own, listen to that gut, listen to that heart feeling, and you'll be just fine. Let's see, what else am I getting for y'all? Oh, just a lot of, I feel like and I'm going way, way far, but I would say by 2024, 2025. Either touring is going to slow down, or one of you is going to be like, you know what? I love what I do, but I think I want to do, can we just do something? Can we space it out? Because the one thing I'm picking up is sometimes, and this is one thing that I think a lot of us as consumers don't get, is that touring can wear you out. Touring is burnout for a lot of people. Whether you're a singer, whether you're a musician, it doesn't matter. And for some reason, I get 2024, 2025. Things are gonna slow down regarding touring. And just and I see you guys wanting to either be near the water or near like either a cabin or a beach house, one of the two, maybe both, but I see something like that for y'all. And I get you guys wanting to not retire, but just have a moment of zen, a moment to relax. So that's all I'm getting. I hope that to Mr. Titus and Miss Bradley. I hope that this reading made sense. To all of you watching, tell me what you think. If you want, I will definitely leave I'll leave a link to the Titus podcast so you guys can listen to it and judge for yourself. I love their work. I think you guys are awesome. Now, this is my message to Miss Bradley, Mr. Titus, and even the Highlander. I think you guys are awesome. I love the things you talk about. It's funny, it's informative, it's witty, and it's needed because I got to tell you, during the quarantine, during the height of the pandemic, you guys were really a light for me. Like you really were. And you helped me a lot. And you helped me understand what was going on in the world, even though I didn't always want to hear it. You know what I mean? So I thank you for that. And I hope that this reading made sense. I hope that I touched on some issues. And even if I didn't, please let me know in the comments. For those of you who are watching, I hope you enjoyed this. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, and most of all, subscribe. Become a sugar bear. And until next time, my babies, I will talk with you later. Okay? Bye-bye.